Good morning, folks. The real Captain Kirk here, live from Weather Trends 360 studio here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It is the 6th of January, 2020. I'm going to be saying that all year long. Sounds actually pretty neat. Hang on for the end here. We're going to show some cute Angelina Kirk photos of her first real vacation in the Bahamas. Had a great time. We'll show that here at the end. Starting off here this morning, again, snow cover as of 6 January. Only 29% of us have snow on the ground. That's pretty anemic, to say the least. Should be about 43%, least in 8 years. Actually did have some snowfall outside 360 studio here this morning, about 1.5 inches. So we haven't had much, but again, a little dusting here this morning. So you have snow on the ground. You're one of the lucky ones, assuming you like snow. Looking at the snowfall trends again from the season to date, which started back on 1 September. Again, remember, we had been talking, trending the most in 20 years, but we're trailing off pretty rapidly here as we've transitioned into the core winter months. Chart on the right is 1 December, meteorological winter through today. Snowfall's, again, a little bit up over last year's anemic conditions of 34% more than last year, but still well below average, 29% below average. So a slow start here to the winter season. Our overall expectations were that snowfall the year would trend about 24% less than last year. We've got a ways to go. We're not quite there yet, but again, the snowfall trends are starting to diminish here a bit. If we look at the trends here since November, again, we had quite a few cold snaps. Now this chart will show you year-over-year temperature trends. So the blue bar's colder than last year, red bar's warmer. So very, very cold obviously start at the beginning of November into the mid-late November time frame. And then we had a good cold blast that week before Christmas. Nationally, it was 5-10 degrees colder than last year for that critical last week of Christmas shopping. So that was good for seasonal merchandise sales. And then we've been milder, obviously, here as of late, last couple weeks. And now we're getting a little bit of another cold snap moving across the upper Midwest and into the east here eventually. And then a big warm-up by the weekend, and then another cold blast potential late next week. As you can see here, though, is our outlook all the way through March 30th. A lot of warmer year-on-year trends here. So not a great pattern here for seasonal merchandise sales. A couple good blasts there maybe in early mid-February. But again, overall theme here is going to be more warm than cold and less snow as we transition through the balance of the winter season. Looking at the how this influences retail sales again. So this week, the next 2 weeks here look to be about 2.5 degrees colder than last year, near average nationally, but it's going to be a very volatile, very warm to very cold type pattern, very rapid moving pattern. Apply this to our Power of 1 Degree technology, and we see that soup sales up 2% over the next couple weeks. Coffee, cough, cold, maybe 5%. Cough, cold might actually be a little higher than that. Flu right now is every state in the country has regional to widespread outbreaks except Hawaii, so that's pretty epic. We have a season trending right now more like 2014, 2015, which was a huge spike flu season early. It spiked about this time, early January, and then plummeted. Let's hope it's not like 2017, 2018, where we had a huge spike like we're having now, but it continued all the way into March. So let's hope it's not like that 17, 18 season. So right now, again, last year it peaked in February, late February, so the flu is definitely peaking. So if you're under the weather, join the club. So again, some benefit to seasonal sales here. This time of year, actually, is we try to help our big retail Fortune 500 clients. Generally now, through about July, even to early August, warmer, drier weather is better for most retailers. Just think about your own consumer behavior. If it's warm and dry, you're more likely to go to the mall and go outside and maybe shop around looking for that car, versus if it's cold and epic wet and snowy and blizzards, you're probably not going to do that. So again, generally warmer, drier is the theme. We don't have the dry part, but at least we have maybe some warmer weather here to benefit the overall economy, if you will, through about August. Looking at this week overall, nationally, again, a tad cooler than last year, 1.3 degrees cooler than last year. This is a little misleading as we're going to go from warm to really, really cold to really, really warm again by Saturday in the east. So there is a pretty decent cold shot coming down through the plains, Midwest, Great Lakes. But again, overall still 12th warmest in 35 years, wettest in 22 years, so ahead of this big storm here toward the weekend. Snowfall still up about 35% versus last year, most in 3 years. So we'll show you that here next with a system moving through the country. Again, a little bit of lake effect, lingering snowfall here in the northeast. Some snow in the Rocky Mountains. Jump ahead here to Tuesday. Again, some snow in the Appalachians. A little more lake effect here on Wednesday. Thursday, another system, and then we'll start to see signs of a bigger system moving through the Midwest Great Lakes as we get toward the weekend, Friday, Saturday time. Michigan probably going to be the big winner with 8-inch plus amounts in central Michigan. Go through these one more time here, Monday, Tuesday, midweek, and then we start to see signs of that by the late week time frame, a system traversing through the Great Lakes. Snow lovers in the east are going to have a rain. In fact, it could be near 60 in the D.C. and Philly areas, and 50s potential up here in the Lehigh Valley of eastern PA. So a big warm blast ahead of this cold front, and then more brutally cold weather coming down behind that. So again, up and down pattern to say the least. Next week, nationally, about 3.8 degrees cold in the last year, 9th coldest in 30 years, so a little below average nationally, but a lot of that cold's in the plains. Wettest in 25 years. Again, a lot of moisture ahead of these cold fronts. Snowfall 35% more than last year, and most in 8 years. So again, potential of a cold blast again latter part of next week, but again, these are going to be probably short-lived. So some snow, but not a lot. We will end here with took the girls to the Atlantis in the Bahamas. If you love water, this is your place to go. There's water everywhere. Absolutely gorgeous resort. To say they had a great time was an understatement. Show you here the little one here in a minute, enjoying the snorkeling and the paddle boats. The aquariums are just amazing. Just again, obviously it's Atlantis, so there's a lot of water and big aquariums. They're just gorgeous. Paddle boat was a hit with the little one. She absolutely loved her little yellow water bee. Mrs. Captain Kirk, again, just was enamored with escaping the not so cold weather here in the east around Christmas time. Taught the little one how to snorkel, so she'll be a pro here. She just turned 4, but she's practicing here with her snorkel. The lazy river obviously was a hit with everyone. Even on the rainy days, it was nice to be in the 80-degree water. So had a great time here, and launched the little one here up in the sky. Her favorite thing is Daddy to make her an airplane. So we'll end here with her practicing her swimming. And she got just a great time here. So that, folks, we hope you have a great start to 2020, and we'll talk to you next week.